I'm Hokey Joker.
Bat Drew.
Green Lantern.
And welcome to Just Us Pros Podcast. What do we think about the Magneto, Magnus, and Rogue relation?
Triangle.
It's
Yeah.
weird, but I mean,
It makes sense.
if she can't hurt him, then you love who you love, I guess.
Yeah. But that's what made the Gambit sacrifice and everything like even more impactful because it's like, oh, I could be with Magnus because he's like we can actually touch and be physical and stuff. But like, even so, my true love is Gambit, and she said she was gonna choose him. So
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I mean, Bo might have been pulling that storyline from like experience where like I'm perfect for you, you're perfect for me in almost every way except this one way. So I have to go to this other dude, and you're like, bruh. Like I felt for Gambit so bad in this series.
Oh yeah.
But also I think he's coming back too, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Along with Wolverine losing his adamantium.
But with oh man, if you think about it, because I love how the writers like really thought outside the box to give all these characters more powers. Like, I mean, I know I talked about Gambit loading up Wolverine's claws, but how does that adamantium work with the kinetic energy? Is it like vibranium? Because vibranium has the kinetic energy properties, or like we said with Cyclops falling out. But like Gambit,
I think at the end of the day, we've got to let some things go because this is an animated cartoon show. But yeah,
what I'm getting at is like Gambit was impaled. He's like, okay, and he like sent it to the robot or the Sentinel and exploded. I would have never thought about that.
No.
So I mean, maybe like
not Gambit.
Yeah, maybe like a 7-year-old me would have thought like, oh, they'll do this, they'll do that, and like that creative part of me is since gone. Which I'm glad this show brought it back for me a little bit.
Yeah.
I just really wish I wish though that Storm had her famous line.
Which was,
what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?
I'm glad she didn't have that line.
Same thing that
I
happened.
did like the call out to the black leather line. Also, we're gonna wear black leather.
Yeah, what were you expecting? Black leather.
Yeah.
So, and then we got what did happen with Wolverine at the end? I know he got his adamantium ripped out, but did he go into the past or future, or
I don't think it actually showed. I think it just showed that he was lost in time.
Yeah,
I don't even
know.
Did it show him? Well, did it show where Morph went to?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it did.
You only saw that Rogue went to ancient Egypt with Apocalypse, and then
Professor X and Magneto are there too with them.
Yeah,
and Scott and Jean are in the future.
Yeah, with young Cable.
Yeah, but I love the look on their face when like, "What's your name?" In Sabanor, and they all had that one meme face that,
like, oh shit,
yeah. And I'm a little surprised that more memes haven't come out of the show yet. We love a good.
It's probably because people are still trying to digest the show. But after rewatching the second time, I found so many scenes where I could like re-meme something, like the Summers family when they're in the Porsche, and he says, "You don't want to mess with the Summers family." That scene was totally like Fast and Furious right there.
Yeah. I have seen a couple of Rogue memes, but you can take that how you want it.
So
I might make a few later if I have time and don't go to sleep or
looking forward to season 2. What do you think is going to happen
with who? Well, just overall?
Well,
I don't know.
I think just okay. Give me one thing that you think is going to happen, not overall, but like obviously Feral Wolverine's got to come in there at some point, right?
For sure.
The one with like the snub nose.
I'm curious to see what they do with Apocalypse too.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to give him like some of the Magneto treatment where like they build him up as a villain and maybe they're trying to help him not become a villain, and like, hey, let's talk this out. Maybe we can. But his ultimate destiny is that he becomes a villain. I think that's what part of what made the Magneto character development so uh good and interesting, because like you understand where he comes from, and like it's not like out of nowhere that he becomes a villain again. It's
Yeah.
like it's earned. It makes sense, his motivations. So I wonder if we'll see something like that with Apocalypse.
Where like it's a tug of war between Charles and Magneto. Where like you can be good and no, you can be bad. Like look at how evil the humans are. No, but we can work together. Like a tug of war of sorts.
I feel like if they try that, we already seen at the end, like the after credit scene, where Apocalypse is in present day and he finds Gambit's card.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I think that season 2 is going to be that story, maybe what you guys just talked about. But by season 3, Apocalypse is forming his horsemen, and 2 of them being Gambit, Horseman of Death, and I really think Wolverine, the Horseman of War, because um, I think Wolverine's last line was usually the first ones to go in war are whatever he said, the villains or whatever. But he said war, and I think that's how he got his adamantium back. What was when he became a horseman of the for Apocalypse, right?
Yeah, but war, what is it good for?
Bro,
Good TV shows.
man, I totally just feel like Chris Tucker right there. Man, security, get me off this airplane. Jeez. We
Gefilte
got about
fish.
5 minutes left on this first one.
So
All
was
right.
this interlude anywhere near the comics? Like y'all would know more of that than me.
Well,
Like
Wolverine
any
had,
of this story from this season from the comics, or is this all new?
I mean, some elements are from stories like where Wolverine gets his titan or adamantium ripped out of his body.
Yeah,
That's when he becomes like feral Wolverine, which is a scary sight to begin with.
yeah.
I also think that this was the best way that they could have adapted to like animated live action the story for Days of Future Past, the beginning of Days of Future Past, because that's pretty much what I think is happening in
Yeah.
season 2, maybe 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think it's just like own story, but yeah, like Bat Drew and Hokey Joker said, it does take elements from the comics.
Okay.
Kind of like the MCU does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the movies. Yeah, you could see how like yeah, Iron Man was founded in the comics because like kidnapped in Vietnam. Now then they updated it to 2008. So like when in the Middle East. So things like that. But if I know we all have our favorite X-Men, but who do you logistically think you would be in this X-Men universe? What whose powers would you have? Or maybe you could point out and say, I think you would have this. I think you would have this.
I
And
would
if
be
we're gonna
Wolverine because I'm his actual comic book height. That's why.
well, would I'm going to say what powers would you have because his metal claws aren't his powers, so to say. It's just a healing factor.
What would you pick, Hojo? Number one Cavs fan.
I think, well, based off personality and everybody, you're too happy to be Wolverine, Bat Drew. That's why I say that.
Oh, only on
I
camera.
could concur.
I feel like I'd be for like Gambit, like a cooking beignets and shit, and wanting to blow up shit.
Anybody that knows me knows that I do not like to blow anything up. Okay, only
No,
bathrooms.
I would be Gambit, bro.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I mean, I cut my hair off, but
I was expecting you to call him Professor X since he's bald.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but I actually that was my second choice for HK. I think it was going to be more of like a Nightcrawler.
I was thinking Nightcrawler too, actually. I just love his blink powers.
Just to see a buzzed hung go, hey, watch what I can do. He just goes,
It's like, oh shit, I'm in a wall.
not again.
No, Flashman, who do you think you would be in this fun little universe? It could be anybody, not just the main players.
Honestly, probably Beast. He'd be my choice.
I didn't want to say that, but yeah, you were going to be. I mean,
See that.
It's all the fuzz.
You guys
It's
are
all the
both Harry.
fuzz. Yeah.
Or you could be the Marvel Flash, Quicksilver, right?
yeah. Even though the Flash is way more
Yeah,
flashy.
way stronger, way
I mean,
flashier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, go watch any death battle video. They pit Quicksilver versus the Flash, and the Flash absolutely destroys Quicksilver.
Yeah.
So moving on to that second season, is there anything you don't want to see happen?
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I wouldn't want to see not happen, but I mean, there's a few things that did happen in season one where I was kind of like, that was weird. But at the end, when Sunspot and Rogue joined Magneto, and then when they were being attacked, they were just like all of a sudden, nope, we're back on your guys' side. That was really weird, but I guess that's comic booky stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want them to bring Gambit back because it would like make his sacrifice like less meaningful.
But you don't want him to come back on his own accord. But I know what Badger said.
Yeah.
Apocalypse brought him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they did like if he was like I mean he would be almost like a completely different character at that point, which would be fine.
But then
Not
if
like
he,
Gambit as he was
but if he
as
comes
he
to real,
was.
oh, I remember who I was, and he gives up his new powers, and he automatically passes away. I think that would be worth it.
Yeah.
Like he's choosing to live the life or die. He chooses to die over being a weapon of war.
Yeah, a true hero.
Yeah.
I don't know. With me, like just them bringing the show back, do whatever you want. I'm game for whatever. As long
Also,
as they
I'm
kind
down
of
to be
fix-
surprised too.
Yeah, like at this point, it's 30 years later. Let's go. Let's go for new horizons here, you know?
And this show did have a lot of surprises in it that I was pleasantly surprised by.
Yeah.
But also, let's say Apocalypse does show up in season 2 or 3. Who would you think would be his horseman besides Gambit and Wolverine? Or who would you
Well,
want to see as his
Magneto's
horseman?
historically one of his
Yeah.
horsemen.
Yeah.
I think Archangel was the other one.
Mhm.
Well, who is it? It's war, famine, death, and
Pestilence.
pestilence.
I think.
I think you're right.
I don't know. Because I think Wolverine and Gambit are the two obvious answers. But maybe Storm. I don't know. I don't think
I
Storm.
was thinking Storm too, but
she's too
that'd
like
be weird.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the closest thing that there is to a god in the show.
I mean, I
if you
feel like
think about it.
I think
Yeah.
it might be Rogue because if she brings back Gambit, or like
That
I'll
would be
do it.
interesting.
Thank you for bringing back Gambit, and maybe Magneto because Magneto might realize his power at that age and be like, I will follow you because you're pretty much the first one. Yeah.
Also, what if Magneto's new Brotherhood team was a hint at 3 of the Horsemen right there: Magneto, Rogue, and for some reason Sunspot. But that could be interesting.
Well,
and then Gambit being the 4th.
Well, I just want to know where Sabretooth was the entire show. They showed him in every opening, but he never showed up.
He was drinking a beer in Canada.
Yeah.
Leave him.
He threw a bag of
Wolverine
chips. Yeah, he threw a bag of chips at Wolverine too.
Yeah.
Morph turned into him once
Yeah, that's true.
for a split second.
Oh, wrap it before you tap it?
Do they have
No, you just say HK, damn it. Don't get them to screw you up.
But anyway, guys, I know X-Men 97 just ended, and some of us are still wanting to go back and watch it again. But if you want new X-Men, guess what's coming out in about a month? Deadpool Wolverine. So anyway, guys, as always, I'm Hokey Joker.
I'm Magnus.
HK.
Flashman.
Anyway, guys, until the next one, cheers.
Cheers.